are here on the Mosier roof. We have got a few wind crease shingles through here. We know that this roof is not repairable, so for the sake of time and brevity, we're going to do one shingle for you guys today. We've got wind creases through here and a little bit of tearing. You can kind of take a general look at the state of this roof. We've got a lot of different tree strikes, granule loss, a little bit of hail throughout here, as well as just general age. This roof is going to have lost a lot of its pliability, and that is something's ability to bend without breaking. So with a roof like this, as we go to unseal it, well, we're going to see straight away we got some delamination right there. This is one we're swapping out, but you'll see this delamination throughout the entirety of the roof. So we're going to go ahead and start getting this separated here. And straight away we're getting pretty horrendous mat transfer. I mean, that's really, really bad. The shingle just doesn't even want to separate. We'll pick a different spot and kind of come down here. So again, as we haven't even lifted the shingle yet, you can see we're getting delamination. And we are swapping this out again, but that's apparent throughout the entire roof. And it's torn. That's one of the reasons we picked this one here. So go ahead and continue on separating it. Now it does look like there was some silicone here from a previous repair, but it doesn't seem to be interfering, at least in this case, with us separating the shingle here. So we're just going to go on and continue getting our shingles separated. Again, you can see delamination there. So we haven't even got into the shingle yet, and it's completely separating, as well as some pretty substantial mat transfer that we'll show you once we've got these all separated. Again, completely delaminated. Once more, every single tab, you can see this roof is it is not repairable. We've had a couple failure points already. We'll keep going for the sake of diligence. All right, so we got our first row separated. Got our shingle we're swapping out separated. We'll go ahead and separate our second row. Horrible mat transfer there. Shingle doesn't want to come out. Goodness. There we go. Finally found a semi-decent separation point here. Again, delaminating every tooth, every time. I think that's a nail. There we go. Really bad mat transfer through here. Right. So you can kind of come in here and see. So basically all this here is mat that is torn off the back of the shingle. It's basically what happens after so many cycles of hot summer, winter, day and night. The shingles fuse together. So when you go to separate them, the sealant strip just doesn't separate, and you get the shingles, they transfer each other's mat. So we got mat transfer, total delamination of every tooth we seem to come in contact with, every single one. For diligence, we're going to keep on going here, at least until we get the shingle out here, because this one is torn, pretty damaged. I think he'll be better off with untorn shingle. Alright, so they only had 4 nails in that. That's out of code. We'll move on. We did a 5 in the top, but only 4 in the bottom. All right. So you can see we didn't tear these nail holes. We took our time removing each nail individually. And you can see this shingle had some obvious storm damage, but again, it had a tear as well. So pretty important we get that out of there for him. So it looks like we do have a silicone dot here. It's probably one of the reasons I was having trouble getting the shingle out, maybe from a previous repair or even the initial installation. They could have used silicone in this valley to help seal these shingles down. But what you end up getting is the irreparable shingle. So you can see it's torn pieces off of both this shingle and the one we're replacing. So you're gonna have kind of a hole here and then this remaining silicone. We'll try to pull some of it off. But more importantly, you got the mat transfer here. So this is a complete and total failure of the sealing system. Once this mat starts to transfer from the heat and cold cycles, these shingles just aren't gonna seal again. So once wind comes in here, you're gonna get creasing prematurely due to it just, you know, being irreparable. I'm gonna check for layers. We can see felt. So this is a 1-layer roof. You can see that felt in there. We're gonna go ahead and slide this undamaged shingle in here. And this is the suggested shingle given to us. On this new shingle, you'll see that it's got all of its pliability. It's very rubbery, like a wet noodle. You could bend this thing all day long. You can brush it 100,000 times. You're not gonna get even a single granule flying off this thing. It's a very strong, sturdy shingle, and that's what you wanna see when you're installing this. And if you don't have a scenario like that, with this brittleness, granule loss, silicone, mat transfer, you know, that's gonna be a fail in the repairability. So we've got a length disparity. It's hard to really see because we're in a valley here, but we're overlapped by about a 1/2 inch further than the old shingle. So you can see going up the valley, they didn't have to cut any of these corners. The one below it's not cut, the one above it's not cut. And this shingle's a little bit bigger now, so you know, that's another reason we'd call a fail. Also, we've got blues in here. There's almost no blues on this roof at all. There's very few grays, but this roof is mostly on the red, orange, kind of peach scale. And this new shingle has a significant amount more of this lighter blue in it. It's more of a colder colored shingle. So we do have a color disparity as well as the length. We're gonna go ahead and nail these nails in. If I have a mag hammer, it's over here. All right, we're using brand new nails with these copper pins on them. They kind of automatically hold into the roof there. We're gonna follow code, which is gonna be 1. One in the end, one in the end here. There's a lot of conversation about this portion of the nailing. Shingle has to be lifted as high as it needs to be to drive the nail flush. The nail is what holds the roof together, right? Without nails, your roof's gonna slide apart. So in order for me to get above the sealant strip, I've got to raise the shingle high enough to drive the nail flush. I can't pretend like lifting it barely. I'm gonna come in here and try to get to where those nails are right there. It's not gonna happen. I can't nail sideways, I can't nail crooked. Per manufacturer installation guidelines, the nail must be driven flush. So we've driven one here and one here, and you can already see the bubbling of the tab and a little bit of creasing through here, some granule loss here, 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 here. You know, we're gonna keep going for diligence, but we've already failed kind of 5 or 6 times over. Shingle manufacturers with architectural like groupings of 1, 2, 2, and 1. So we're gonna do that here. We're gonna hang a little bit closer to the right side of the shingle to keep those nails out of the valley. Again, you're getting total delamination of these shingles here, creasing at the top. You can hear it crunching from its lack of pliability. So we have got our grouping of 2. We're gonna do another grouping of 2 right here. Okay. We're gonna do our last nail down here, not in the valley, but farther enough down the shingle pull that in there nicely. Okay, we're gonna move on down to our next row. We're pretty much seeing the same thing on everything here, so we're just gonna continue on. So the new nail I just drove this nail. It blew through our old shingle. The shingle's very, very stiff. It doesn't want to bend at all. It wants to come up as a straight, complete unit. And now we have to make decisions like, do we bend the shingle more to drive another nail? We're at that irreparable kind of fork in the road where we're all understanding together that this system's failing as a whole, that it can't be repaired. So, you know, we'll drive a few more nails in here because we want to have him in a better position than he was in. And I would rather have some slight creasing and a shingle that's not going to slide out, because we're going to fail one way or the other. Okay. All right, so again, you know, we're totally delaminated here. That's toast. So we got 4 nails in the bottom, 6 in the top, so we're not going to slide out here. And we're failed. We got creasing, nail blow through, random silicone on the roof, color disparity, length disparity, mat transfer, as well as we saw that when we actually removed nails, they had not put 6 in. You know, this is going to be tarped because it's a fail in a valley. But anyway, in my professional opinion, this roof cannot be repaired and must be replaced as a whole. Thank you so much.